Welcome back to the perfect player in Football Manager 2021, Jamie the Space. We left him in PSG. Where's he going to go from here? We're about to find out. But before we do, just to give you a little teaser as to what's on the horizon, I am already working on the next one of these kind of videos because you guys just went absolutely nuts on part one. So what you can see on screen is what is going to be coming up in the next couple of days. So if you're not already, if you're one of the 40% of people who are relying on the YouTube algorithm to get them here for part two, based on the fact you enjoyed part one, make sure to subscribe. We have Football Manager videos on the daily like this one and lots more experiments planned. Anyway, that is all from me in terms of an intro. Shall we pick things up with Jamie? Good luck, my son. Please leave PSG. Let's see how he got on. What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to part two of the perfect player in Football Manager 2021. Here we have Jamie, the son that I hate that I'm supposed to love. He is 28 years old now. He's 3 years older than when we left things last time. His bravery still hasn't reappeared. I don't know what. Some kind of traumatic incident, I think, affected his bravery. Just never been the same again. But he is still at PSG, and he's actually signed a new contract with them. Jamie, what are you doing? So yes, if you're new here, if you've stumbled on in and gone, what the hell is this video? Essentially, we have created the perfect player in Football Manager. We have frozen all their attributes at 20. We've allowed them to play any position they want. And we started them in Gibraltar with hopes that they'd go on to have a bright future, leading Gibraltar to glory, sticking out in the National League for the entirety of their career. It's not happened. He's gone and joined the dark side. He's gone and joined PSG. And since we left things, he's just getting better and better. Of course, last time we left things, he'd got 10 goals and 20 assists. These last few seasons, actually, not quite as good at totals in terms of assists, but he has scored more, which leads me to believe that maybe they're going to play him as a striker a little more often. I mean, if we look at things here, actually, he's played centre mid 20 times and got 12 assists and 11 assists, 12 goals. I can't read numbers. There's lots of numbers here. It's a bit mad, isn't it? How's he done that well at centre mid? What would he be doing if he was the striker in the team? Oh my, and then for national team, he's playing left wing back. Why, Gibraltar, we need to have a word. Why are you playing Jamie at left wing back? I've given you the best player you could possibly have, and you've got him at left wing back. Worth noting, they are 100th in the world rankings, and they've made it up to the National League Division B. I can't believe they've done it. They've managed. Wait, have they? Oh no, they've not been promoted. I saw them in the number one spot and thought they've not gone up, have they? They haven't. So how did they get on? The question is, how did they get on last season in Division C? Of course, when we left things, they were just stuck here. They've actually made it out with 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Was Jamie carrying them? I can only assume he was. Sadly, they've not made it to a World Cup in a group that contained Croatia and Germany. I don't think we can be too surprised about that. Looking at things here, oh my word. There's lots of Jamie the Space written across these different items, isn't there? He scored a penalty in a defeat against Georgia. He scored the winning goal in the 86th minute against Bosnia and Herzegovina. He grabbed 2 against Moldova. And he just gets goals. Not as many as you might expect, though. 43 goals, 113 caps. He's only 28. How many more caps can he possibly get? That is kind of a terrifying thought, really, isn't it? Now, last episode when I left things, we didn't actually look at what awards he'd won by the end of things. Mostly because look how small the scrolly thing is on the right. He's won a lot of awards over the years. Can we look at, I don't know, is there a landmarks thing or something that we can look at here just to see all the major awards? Right, there isn't. I'm realising now. Right, we're going to the world stage, everyone. I want to go to the world and I want to look at awards because I imagine he is just winning absolutely everything. Oh. Okay, World Golden Ball. He's not won it that much. Who are these other people? Alain, how good are you? He's good, isn't he? Wow. Wow, he's nuts. And then this year, Yildiz has come in and won it. Oh my word. If you could see the face I was pulling, it's a face of kind of a bit of disgust, really. I mean, he's not quite as good as Jamie. You got to give it to him. But because he's playing as a striker, he's managed to get 44 goals, whereas poor Jamie playing right back has got 12. Life's not fair, Jamie. You've got the better average rating, but right wing backs don't win the Ballon d'Or, I'm afraid to say. It's just a sad truth. I say that. He did win it the year before, and he has won it kind of sporadically, but nowhere near as often as you might expect. If we just look at the World Team of the Year, he is in there at right back. If we look at all seasons, he's still in there at right back. I'm not surprised. His average rating of 8.79 is so far ahead of anyone else. The next highest in the overalls is Yildiz with an 8.2, but it's quite a long jump up to Jamie, who's continuing to be rather nutty. How about PSG? Have you won anything new, PSG? Have you won a Champions League yet? You've won a Europa League in 2030. You've won the Europa League this year. They're winning Europa Leagues. That's not good. They've won every league season. Let's all pretend to be surprised. And they've also won a World Club Championship in 2033. They won on penalties against Manchester United. We can't see the details for the game. I'm so sad, because it's just a few years ago now. Can we look at award winners? Club World Championship Best Player. Jamie the Space has won it, everyone, in 2033. Take that, Yildiz. Dream 11, is Jamie in here? He is at centre mid alongside Mbappe. Is Mbappe still at PSG? He is. He is starting to decline a little bit though, aged 35. 8.22 average rating is just silly. Fair Play Award, Jamie ain't getting that. Top goal scorer was Biada, who I guess is the replacement for Jamie over at Dortmund. Right, I mean, I'm quite impressed by what he's done, age 28. I'm a little bit surprised they're not playing him at striker more often and just letting him do way more, but he's doing fine. He's doing okay, the 28-year-old. I want to say he's in his prime years, but of course, that doesn't really exist here. He's never going to leave his prime. I think for the next jump forward, we'll go forward 4 years till he's 32. Have a look at kind of his closing years of his career, theoretically. He should be on the decline. Of course, he won't be. Please leave PSG. Please leave. Jamie, you've got 3 years left on your deal. You've got so much more left to live for. Leave them. Or join you in 2038, people. Jamie, you're leaving. Leave. I command you. So here we are. The year is 2038. Nothing has changed. Jamie, why have you not left PSG? This was not how this was meant to play out, son. I'm disappointed in you. He's still valued at £62 million. Of course, he's not going to decline as a player. Fitness is not an issue. And he's just putting in the same ridiculous numbers years after years. Obviously, we've played another 4 seasons here. 19 goals and 14 assists this most recent season. His lowest player of the month total is, player of the match total is 22 in a 38-game league season. I mean, at this point, I assume he's just the star boy at PSG. And in fact, he's not. This is why you can't just look at key players and assume that they are actually the best players. Apparently, Thomas da Silva is the key player. Apparently, Jamie's just the guy on the side. That Jamie kid, doesn't matter. It's okay, Jamie. You're always going to be in Thomas da Silva's shadows in my eyes because you've not left the club. They've won the season every year. They've won the league every year, I should say. I guess they have won the season as well. They're not losing anyone. It's not fair. Jamie, you are meant to be used for good. Looking at things here, they have not won any more European competitions from the looks of things, which is a bit of a surprise. They've not won the Euro Cup, and they've not won the Champions League either. I mean, there's just a curse on PSG, it turns out. I mean, I am really surprised they've not done more. Jamie, where are you playing? Have they moved you higher up the pitch? 33 games this season at centre mid. It looks like they're playing him at centre mid way more. Meanwhile, on the international stage, they've played him at right back and left back, and they have played him as a striker, everyone. He got 13 goals in 13 games as a striker. It's only taken them 2 decades to realise what his best position is. So, not a great deal's changed at PSG, but on the international stage, Gibraltar, 94th in the world. They're doing okay. They're still in the international kind of national league, B League. They're doing okay. I'm pleasantly surprised by how well they have actually done internationally. Have they made it to a World Cup qualifier? Where did they finish in their group? Where did you finish? They won a lot of games. Gibraltar. I can't see them. Where are you, Gibraltar? Maybe I'm looking too high up on each league. They finished 4th. Oh, it looked way better than it actually was. France went unbeaten in the group. I saw all these wins here and thought they must have done well. Ignored these wins at the top. But they had a good run. Although Jamie didn't score in any of these. When has Jamie been scoring for them? He scored a few in friendlies. I'm trying to work out where his goals have come from now. In the European qualifiers, have they actually made it to the European Championship? No. I feel like at this point I've given up hope of Gibraltar making it to a major national tournament. He's 32 years old now. I've given them the best player possible. Apparently their key player is Alan Simpson, who, to be fair, looks really, really good. But sadly, he's not good enough to get you to a World Cup. I really hope they would do well. I mean, they've climbed up the national rankings, right? I've got to look at things that way, I suppose. They've gone up over 100 ranks to 94th, and they are in the National League kind of second tier, which is a pretty good achievement. But Jamie's just not been used. He's been misused. I'm a bit sad for him. He's got 2 years left on his deal at PSG. It's going to be interesting to see if he retires or anything. If we just look at his milestones here for all competitions, is there anything interesting going on? I'm looking to see. Has he maybe, I'm wondering if he might have retired from international duty, now that I think about it. Just because he didn't score in any of those recent games, where would it say if he had? Is it under contract? Or information? Oh, he did. Okay, this makes a bit more sense because I hadn't seen him in the recent games. So he retired from international football 2 years ago. He retired from international football aged 30. I mean, that just feels selfish. That just feels like just going all out for the personal glory. If we just look here at his biography, you can feel free to screenshot this or something or read through it yourself. It's turning into a bit of an essay. He won the European Champions Cup Defender of the Season. He's won League top goal scorer on 3 occasions, or 3rd place on 3 occasions. He's never won the actual thing. He won Club World Championship Best Player and Europa League Player of the Season. Imagine if he had been playing for a major nation. I wonder if he would have kept playing for longer. I wonder if the lack of success for Gibraltar just kind of put him off trying. Either way, he's 32 now. I think we will go forward to the end of his career. I don't know when this is going to be, so I'm going to leave the game holidaying for a while with yearly autosaves, and I will join you whenever Jamie decides to hang up his boots, and we'll take a big look at his career on the whole. Is he going to leave PSG? Probably not, but I want to believe he could. I've done it. I've found the end. We've made it to the end. It was 10 years later. Yes, Jamie has played until the ripe old age of 42. And in fact, he's going to be 43 before the season is over and before he retires. He's actually going to retire a week before his birthday. Well, Jamie, why not go till you're 43, mate? As you can see here, nothing's changed. He's still at PSG. He's on £300,000 a week. And he's still doing incredible things. 21 goals, 12 assists, 17 player of the matches. It does look like he could have slowed down a little bit as he's got older. But that doesn't really make sense because he's not declined at all. And the only thing I can really think is maybe they've started playing him at centre-back, or maybe there is some kind of hidden values under the hood that we can't see to do with the age of players influencing manager decisions. Just looking at his most recent season, he played 30 games at centre-back this year and got 11 assists from centre-back. How's he done that? I guess free kicks, maybe. In terms of as a centre-mid, you can see here, 11 goals, 6 assists. Not bad in 12 games. He's pretty blooming good. I'm a bit sad he stayed at PSG for the whole thing, if I'm being honest. Jamie, you were meant to leave. You've been here for 22 years. Have PSG won the league? Of course they've won the league every single year. Oh, it just makes me feel sad. What have they won in terms of competitions? Have they won a Champions League? They've won 4. They won 1 this year and the year before that. Okay, it took until Jamie was 36 for them to start winning it. But then they did start to win it quite a lot. 4 Champions League winner medals. A lot of the Liga medals. I mean, too many to count, let's be honest. It says here, 37. You don't need to count them, Jack. They've won the Club World Championship on 2 occasions as well. They've won the European Super Cup. I'm going to assume they've only won the Europa League once. Indeed, they have. I guess that's because they're so frequently getting far in the Champions League. So, on that level, he's done very well. Gibraltar, how have they done since his retirement? They've actually stayed in 95th. which I'm pleasantly surprised about. It actually looks like their world ranking hasn't moved a great deal. I'm just curious to check. Are they still in the Division B? Oh, they had a qualifying semi-final to get to the Euros and they lost in it. They nearly made it to a major competition. But without Jamie. They did go down, by the way, to the European League Division C. In fact, that might have been the playoff that they were in. I'm not sure. What is this, a playoff to get into the European Championship? I think it is. If it is, that is disappointing that they've lost in it. But they've not made it to any major competition. I think that's fairly safe to say. I could have a flick through it. There's not going to be World Cup appearing, is there? There's no way they've made it to a European Championship or a World Cup without him. No, I'm just shaking my head now. He doesn't make it anywhere there. He didn't come out of retirement either, which I wondered if that might be a slight possibility. If we look at his biography here, I would, give you the pleasure of me reading this all out. I don't think it's worth it, I'm going to be honest. He's won... Can we see where the World Golden Ball is? Oh my word, it's like looking for a needle in the haystack. He's won World Player of the Year on 12 occasions. He did win it last season. In fact, in his final year at the club as a centre-back, he won it. 24 goals, 21 assists in all competitions. Musa, who is one of the players who plays with him at PSG, who is pretty blooming good, has also won it a fair few times. It's kind of mad that he's won so many over so many years. Obviously, he's not declining, so it's not really a surprise that over a 25-year career, he would win it a lot. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't won anything more consistently, but I think that is purely down to his position. If you're a centre-back, you are just less likely to win the Ballon d'Or, sadly. If we just look at the World Team of the Year, and then overall, I assume he's going to be in it. He is at right-back. He's played 1,284 matches and scored 447 goals in all competitions. For comparison, the next highest is a regen who has retired, who got 712. And then the next highest... Again, just more regens, really. He's got almost double the amount of appearances of anyone else, just because he's not declining. He's kind of had two careers in one, because of how young he started playing at. Oh my word. I mean, I don't know really what I expected here. I think, as I said, I think I mentioned this in part one, I think if we were to do a follow-up to this, I'd be quite interested to make a perfect striker, maybe a perfect centre-mid and a perfect centre-back, maybe stick them at the three smallish nations, or, take the three nations that are the lowest in FIFA's rankings in Europe, give them one of each player and see which player has the biggest impact nationally, whilst kind of tracking each player's progress as they play in Europe. What we've learnt here is essentially that the AI looks at the perfect player who can play anywhere and goes, you'd make a great right wing back, which I guess because it's kind of a position that's often hard to get a really good player in, similar to centre back, kind of makes sense in a slightly weird way. I mean, when does Football Manager ever make sense, people? When does it ever make... It doesn't, does it? Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a look at his injuries here. We never really looked at these, but he had one for injury proneness. And as you can see here, besides one hip injury, just a load of minor injuries. He did quite well. Jamie, you had a good career. You weren't bad for the perfect player. I will say you've let me down and you've let Gibraltar down by retiring early and going to PSG and then just not leaving. But for the sake of this video, you've proven a lot, and that is that you can't trust a fellow WorkTheSpace member. Anyway, I don't even know what that means. Shall we wrap things up here, folks? Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one. If you would like to see a follow-up or have your own wacky or weird idea for a video like this that we could do in the future, let me know them down in the comments. And until next time, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.